and now I'm paying him more like a low-end number 2 wide receiver, yes, I will give you a third-round pick for that.
His base next year is 12.5, $4 million signing bonus.
I thought his cap, so maybe the cap hit is on them?
His cap hit is $29 million for 2025. It's $27 million for 2026.
Okay, but the way you made it sound is that the Rams are on the hook for. Why would they need to eat? If he's only making, how much did you say next year is his salary?
12.5.
If he's only making 12.5,
plus a $4 million bonus.
Okay, so 16.5. Why would they have to eat any of the salary in a trade? You know how many wide receivers in the NFL are making more than $16.5 million a year now? Not guys that won Super Bowl MVPs and Offensive Player of the Year awards recently. I can tell you that much.
His cash number, so just to go on spot track here, his cash number for next year is 20, and then for 2026 is 19.85. Here's the problem with what the situation is with him, okay? They're out there on the record that they are willing to eat some of the money to make a deal happen if they can get a second-round pick.
Yep.
The problem for the Steelers is there are at least 3 teams I can think of right now who either think they are contenders, definitely are contenders, who also definitely need wide receiver help.
Name them.
Chiefs. Niners are the think they are contenders, and now they have no Brandon Ayuk. Tampa Bay is still tied for first in that division, and guess who's not playing anymore? Chris Godwin. Guess who plays a very similar type of wide receiver to Chris Godwin, or in the same role on the field at least, where they line him up? Cooper Kupp. You don't think that all... My point is...
I just don't see how the 49ers could do it, because how do they afford him beyond this year? They can't. They got to still pay Brock Purdy. They give Trent Williams a big raise. They've got Deebo Samuel and George Kittle that are up for new contracts. They can't take on even enough. A $15 million player.
Without going into the weeds, let me ask you this. If they're not going to trade him intra-division, fine. I'm still naming the Chiefs and the Bucks. So my only point in bringing it up is you're not bidding against yourself like you were for Ayuk, where you thought you could make it happen, but he clearly wanted to stay there in the end.
Yeah.
You are bidding against other teams.
I mean, I don't think any team is going to give up a second-round pick for him because of his injury history.
Do you think that the Chiefs would give one up to chase immortality? Because I think they would.
I don't think they feel like they need to.
Have you looked at their offense? They are 6-0 because their defense rules. I mean, they are objectively not playing good offense.
So is Chris Muller on the record as saying if they don't trade for a wide receiver, they're not going to win the Super Bowl?
No, actually, because
right, exactly. But
I'm assuming that no.
Come on now,
they do need to trade for a wide receiver. Yeah, they don't have to trade for Cooper Kupp,
and they won't give up that much. As far as that point here of this, the Steelers never traded a first-round pick until they decided that Minka was having a first-round pick because he was only 1 year into his deal. And their argument was, we'd rather have Minka Fitzpatrick with wherever our pick is going to be than who we would take with that pick. Even though things have changed over there, I do not believe they would trade a top 60 pick for a guy in his 30s with injury history. It's not a first-round pick, but it's still a premium pick. And given the age and how little the guy has played, even though it's a monster position of need, I don't think they do it. The other thing, as far as they go, Steelers specifically, that I have a question about is the guy plays primarily in the slot. That's pretty much where he plays at all times. We don't really use a slot receiver in this offense.
Well, that's the other thing.
We build the whole offense out of tight ends.
What's Arthur Smith going to do with him? Also, I could probably look this up. Where are his routes taking him?
That doesn't take Van Jefferson off the field now. Now, I know he would technically, in that situation, he would be demoted down to the third wide receiver. But whenever there are outside wide receivers on the field, I would think Cooper Kupp would be on the bench for them. I think unless they're going to change where he plays.
He does fit them in one way. For the majority of what I can look up last year on the route charts, he runs a lot of stuff to the outside part of the field. He is not, even though he lines up in the slot, they run him off to the numbers a lot. Just last year, I'm not trying to go back 4 years to see what they were doing, because we know Russ isn't going to throw over the middle. So if he was a slot receiver who really did exclusively work over the middle, that would be a problem. But I'm looking at these charts. He's running a lot of little drag routes and stuff like that.
I would just love to see the numbers this year for the amount that the Steelers have had a slot receiver position on the field. because I know Arthur Smith last year in Atlanta, when the season was all done, I think they had 3 wide receiver looks with an inside receiver less than any team in the NFL. And my eyes tell me that has not changed really this year. So I just could see them, because remember, this is what we were told. Now, this is a much different player in terms of where his career arc is and the type of player he is. Remember, we were told Tyler Boyd doesn't fit their offense because that's where Tyler Boyd plays, is in the slot. He's almost exclusively a slot receiver. And that's what Kupp is. Kupp is the best slot receiver, has been when he's been healthy, the best slot receiver in the NFL. So is he good enough where midstream they would change their offense for a guy? I mean, I could see them doing that in the offseason, but
the ideal second wide receiver
7 games
for them,
in, they're going to do that?
I think the ideal second wide receiver for them is still somebody that can line up outside and take some of the attention away. I know you could say a smart offensive coordinator finds a way with a guy of Kupp's, track record and pedigree when he's healthy to just use him in a way that frees up Pickens, but seems to me that they're still looking for a true outside guy.
I mean, I don't think they'll do it, for starters. And then number 2, for as excited as I would be about them getting him, the second-round pick part of it for a guy who is not often healthy does gnaw at me. I saw Doran basically posted, if the Steelers are serious this year, they'll make this trade. That is a very big take. I appreciate that Doran is willing to put takes like that into the universe. I can't get there yet, though.